This is a quick check-in. Thank you so much for all the love I got on my last video. I thoroughly enjoyed making that video, and so I am coming to you with an iPad walkthrough video. This is what is on my iPad, all the apps I have on here, and a brief description of what they are and how they help me. Okay, so to start off my video, I'm showing you this super cute case and pencil that I got. If you do not mind the fact that your pencil could possibly fall off at any moment using this case, then I fully go ahead and purchase it. I, however, do not use this case on a daily basis because it's just not conducive for a very good, student work environment. And the pencil case that I have on as well just slipped off, and as you can see, I filmed this video quite a while ago, so I had a lot of time to use that pencil case, and it was not very helpful, let me tell you that. The first app that I'm showing you here is called Goodnotes. This is where I keep all of my school classwork as well as my planner. This beautiful planner that I'm using is from Henry, and she is a fellow YouTuber who created this planner template, and I searched for eons looking for a really good planner template that I didn't have to make on my own just quite yet, and she had honestly the best that I could see that fit me well and with pages that I was able to actually use on a daily basis. I also use Goodnotes. I honestly prefer it to Notability from what I could tell. I don't use Notability, but this is an app that I did have to purchase, so I use it for a lot of daily tasks, to-do lists, things like that I need to get done. I have my Goodnotes organized very, very neatly. I have all my schoolwork that I had for my spring semester listed out. I have this website that I use to condense all my lecture PowerPoints into pages, so it's not as overwhelming and it's not as much information as it looks to be. Next app I have is Google Calendar. I absolutely love this app. I would not be anything without it. I also have Pinterest, and I use this to kind of create boards and inspiration. I also post myself on Pinterest because I love having some of my looks on my boards as well. The next thing that I'm going to focus on over here is the widgets. The first widget I have here is the podcast. I used to listen to The Basement Yard a lot. Unfortunately, with school, I have not had time to listen to them. I'm extremely behind, but I keep this here because I liked it. Then I have a Notion widget. I was recently diagnosed with ADHD, so I keep some tips and helpful things that I can use to manage it listed in my Notion. As well as like a little grocery list note. I keep a lot of things on my Notion, but these are in my favorites because as far as the shopping list, I basically grocery shop for very similar things every day. So, or not every day, but like every week, every 2 weeks. So I just like the ability to check them off, and I like how I'm able to categorize them and things like that. The next widget I have is this app called I Am. It's an affirmation app that my sister let me know about, and it has a bunch of really beautiful quotes and things like that to kind of help you throughout your day. I also have the Vicky widget, and during this time that I filmed this video, I was watching Tale of the Nine-Tailed, and I really liked it because of the actor that was in it. Unfortunately, I've not been able to finish any dramas or TV shows in a long time. Then I have FaceTime, App Store, Outlook, Gmail, Settings, the Bible, and I have this little folder called Books. The first book app I have is called Kindle. I use this a lot in my spring semester because I was able to transfer some of my, textbooks into my Kindle and use it as an ebook. This honestly has been one of the biggest game changers for me, especially in college, because I'm not lugging around textbooks that I use on a daily basis. I also love the search function on this Kindle. I'm able to look up any term or, idea or whatever in the textbook and able to quickly get a bunch of results that relate to it. I also have this app called Libby. I love this app. You don't even understand. If you're an avid reader like me, or at least I used to be an avid reader, I'm kind of struggling now, but you're able to link up whatever library card you have locally or wherever you can get a library card, and you're able to access that library's collection of ebooks or audiobooks and use it on your iPad. It is amazing. Or on your phone, honestly. You can have this app wherever, on whichever device you want. You are able to borrow the books or be put on a waiting list for it to be delivered to you, and I honestly really like it. It also allows you to choose which app you want to read it on. Sometimes I pick Kindle in order to get the vertical scrolling ability, or you can read it on Libby itself. The next app I have is Books. Here is where I kind of download books illegally, don't let anyone know. And I have this French book here of The Little Prince that I was reading in French so that I could improve on my comprehension skills. I also have Goodreads. This is where I keep a bunch of, books to read, books that I want to read, if I want to get reviews on things. I've had this app forever. I can't even remember how long I've had it for. The next folder is my media folder. I got Peacock only because I wanted to watch the first 3 Harry Potter movies for free, and in high quality. So that's the only reason why I got it. I honestly do not watch anything else on here. Apple TV, I used it to quickly download a movie when I was on a plane. I have Netflix. During the time that I filmed this, I was watching Nevertheless. That drama took me through a lot. Next, I have Watched, which is honestly also kind of illegal, but we don't talk about it. And then I have Prime Video. I watch a lot more like indie international films on here. If you haven't seen Knives Out, you really need to if you have this app, because it was such a phenomenal movie. I absolutely loved it. Next is Viki. I've already talked about this. Next we have Hulu. And then I have Crunchyroll. Don't go on that too often. And then I have Spotify. And during the time that I filmed this, I was listening to Enhypen's album Let Me In, which is it's so good. It's so good. You need to listen to it. The next thing that I want to talk about is Procreate. I use this to make a lot of thumbnails. Here's the thumbnail of my sister's video that I helped her make. And I also do some animations on there and little drawings and things like that. I have a school folder. The first one is Forest. I purchased this a long time ago, probably like the beginning of high school. It uses the Pomodoro technique and this cute tree animation to keep you on track with whatever you're doing. Next, I have Google Drive. I use this to keep all my classwork very organized, as well as whatever information is needed for it, such as, the syllabi, assignments, things like that I want to keep in one area. Then I have Notion. If you guys would like me to do a full Notion tour, I happily will do it, because the way I spent like weeks learning how to personalize my Notion only to not even use it at all. And I really want to talk about, you know, why that is and what that could lead to, things like that. Or not use it as often as I would like. Next, I have Blackboard and then Quizlet. I use Quizlet to study a bunch of just simple terms that I have for like my nutrition classes or my medical terminology classes. These days, I don't make as much Quizlets as I used to, as, you know, a high schooler or a middle schooler, just because of how time consuming it can be, but it's very helpful to review terms. Then I have GroupMe and then Google Docs. I used Google Docs a lot for my labs. I was able to draw, you know, chemistry or chemical diagrams or whatever, however you would call that, by importing the Google Docs into my GoodNotes. Next, I have Grandma Calculator. It is one of the only calculators on the iPad's App Store that does not have a bunch of like ads and annoying things like that. So I really like it. Next, I have Read Anywhere. I use this to access my OChem textbooks. I have iTranslate. I'm learning French, I'm learning Korean, I'm learning Spanish, so this is very helpful. It's one of the more accurate translator apps, and it also has really beautiful pronunciation, which is very, very surprising to me, especially with a language like Yoruba that's not very easy to come by. Lastly, I have this app drawer called Default. This just has a bunch of apps that I don't really access through the app itself, so I just keep them all in a folder like this. I just want to mention that this video was filmed prior to the release of the iOS 15, so I will be making an updated what's in my iPad video. I still use a lot of the apps that I show in this video, as well as some new ones, so I'd like to make an updated video for that. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.